All right. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, I guess we don't have speakers here. Got it. So this is me talking. God, I'll yell into it. All right, welcome everybody to the Battle for Arizona Avenue here at Chandler Rotary. We are pleased to be presenting this program again today in these weird times where, you know, we have to wear masks and have smaller groups, although this is a pretty big group today. We're going to start with the invocation, so please rise. Thomas is going to lead us in the invocation. I do not see the flag out, so we will skip the Pledge of Allegiance and let's go straight to the four-way test. Ron, you're right in front of it. Can you lead us in the four-way test? All right, you may be seated. First of all, I want to welcome some of our distinguished guests here today. We have Mayor Hartke. We're going to hear from him in a second. We have Dr. Camille Castile here. And we have Mr. De La Torre, the Chandler or the Hamilton High School principal. And we have Mr. Franklin over here at this table as well. And of course, welcome to the coaches and the players. We'll hear more from them later. I also want to mention our sponsors for the event. Our major sponsor is Stifel and Greenberg Trawig. And then some of our members stepped up to sponsor tables. Dwayne Dobson, James Shank, Kerry Kolb, Joe Wallace, Kelly Ferguson, Jason Riley, and Ed Corbett and Ron Capanash. So I want to thank everybody for that. We basically have as many sponsors as we had last year, and it's just not open to the public. We're live streaming, for those of you that don't know. So I am supposed to talk just briefly about the history of this event. This is the 22nd regular season meeting between these two schools, which began last century in 1999. 21 regular season games, 15-6 in favor of Hamilton High School currently. This is the 8th year we've held this luncheon to recognize the rivalry. The early versions of this event, which didn't have a name at the time, began in 2013 during a regular Rotary meeting. So we're back to where we started, back at regular Rotary meeting, not a big event, pre-COVID. To commemorate the rivalry between these two outstanding schools, the Chandler Rotary Club established the Chandler Rotary Trophy in 2014 to recognize the winner of the Battle for Arizona Avenue. That's right in front of us here. The Chandler Rotary Trophy will be presented to the winner following the game this Friday night at Chandler High School. That's correct, right? Chandler High School? Okay. So funny story about last year. I was at the game last year on the sidelines at a table with representing the Rotary with the trophy and a little plaque for each team, depending on who won. And I had a little screwdriver with me, and I was supposed to put it on before it got presented. Well, if anybody was at last year's game, I know a lot of you were, it came down literally to the last second, and the trophy just disappeared off the table before I could even get the screwdriver out of my pocket. So I don't know what it's going to be like this year, but it was a hell of a game last year if you were there. But anyway. So welcome again. I'm going to have the mayor come up and say a couple of words, if you will.
Well, thank you. My family has been proud attenders of the Chandler Unified School District with my kids, started back in about 1991. And so we have grown up through the CUSD, and I am, as mayor, I can't think of a better city in the world, and I can't be more proud of Chandler for a ton of reasons. two of which are on my left and on my right here today. So we're excited about this game and continuing to see great things come out of Chandler High School, out of Hamilton High School, all of our schools. And I want to thank you to the Rotaries and all who made this possible today. Go Chandler! The big Chandler, big sense.
All right, we're having some audio visual difficulties here today, getting the screen to show what we're actually going to show on the live stream, which is about a 3-minute video that probably a lot of you have seen, but that's going to play here during the next 3 minutes on the live stream, I think. And in the meantime, we're going to get people mic'd up, and Brad's going to come up here and get ready.
It's more than a game. Oh no. It's much greater than that. It's a legacy, handed down over generations. A legacy of champions. Determination. Change. And in the ocean of time, the tides always change.
The school board, in an official resolution, named this field and this stadium in honor of Coach Jerry Logan.
The title of champion isn't just given. It's earned. Forged in the flames of strength and camaraderie. Like the road that runs through the heart of the city of Chandler.
Chandler High School
It connects
on
all
Friday
of us.
night, pulling cables, working with 12, 14 students.
For the heart of a champion never dies. It never slumbers. Champions will only grow stronger, training for the day to be recognized as champions once again. Because it's more than a game. It's tradition. As the legends that passed through these halls knew, it's about something much greater than themselves. It's about family. It's about community. It's about being part of the legacy of Chandler. A legacy that continues to burn bright to this day. It's more than a game. It's the battle for Arizona Avenue.
It is a great, great rivalry for sure. And we're pleased now to be joined by the two head coaches, Mike Zadepski with Hamilton and Rick Garrettson at Chandler. The two teams are undefeated. The two teams come into this game on national stage on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. I like the 8 p.m. start on Friday night. We like that. And for this game to be of this magnitude, to have both teams come in undefeated in the midst of what is going on across our country with COVID is really a testament to your coaches here and their coaches, the staff, and to the players on both sides, and you're going to get to know some of these players. And let's start first with you, Coach Z. The season, how it's gone, what has gone right for you this year to put you in this position? Rick? June 6th was the first day you could get on the field, and there was maybe a week or two break. I mean, you guys have been going pretty straight forward.
It's like 6 months. You know, we had 2 weeks that we took off in that period of time, and that was generally a Monday through Thursday. You had 9 weeks without a football. You know, so it's been a long, tedious process, but ultimately, you know, it's been worth it.
The coaching side of it with the extent of the season, how have you found the resiliency within your staff and your kids?
Well, you just got to keep, like we keep telling everybody, just keep pounding the rock. You know, no matter however you feel, everyone gets tired. And, you know, when you recognize that everyone gets tired, that's just something that's a moment you have to push through. Mm-hmm. And we've had to push through it. Players have had to push through it. We've had conversations about it. I think any good team has the ability to push through that.
Let's focus on Hamilton for a moment and the players that you brought. We'll get to them momentarily, but just wrap for the people here and watching on the live stream, wrap a little bit about your season and how it's gone.
Well, the only thing we're trying to do is just get a little bit better each day, a little bit better each week. And that's all we want to do. And as long as we continue to do that, then we're in a good place. You know, just like when we go out to practice today, we want to be a little bit better than we were yesterday. And if we focus on the small pieces like that, then we can continue to improve.
When I saw you open the season against Centennial, where are you different today than you were opening week?
Well, you know, you know, offensively, we're getting a handle on the system that we want to run and how we want to run it. There's a lot of inexperience on that side of the ball right there, and honestly, a lot of inexperience on the defensive side of the ball as well. So yeah, I think we are still continuing to get better from that point and that moment, you know, however many weeks ago it was, 6-7 weeks.
College opportunities, people in this room and people that are watching always want to know on both teams. We'll get to Rick in a bit, but on the Hamilton side, letter of intent day keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. I think it's now April 15th is the earliest. Your seniors that are going on to play, how many are you aware of, and can you just kind of run through some of those names and where they're at?
Well, with the, you know, when you go through the senior class, you have, you got Trey Tate over here, who's a split end for us. He's doing a fine job. Connor Dupree, he's got multiple Division II offers right now, and CSU Pueblo reached out to you the other day, so we spoke to him. So, yeah, I mean, it's going slow with the process right there, but it's a continual process. You know, we continue across the offensive line. You know, Christian McCook, senior on the offensive line. Alexander Bruns, senior on the offensive line. Caden Cummings. The two running backs, Rodney Clemente and Noah Schmidt. You know, and you know, then you got Brady Shuck at the other receiver position, which are our seniors that are looking at options of, you know, college football, anywhere from the Division III to the 2 to 1 to JUCO to NAIA, anywhere in there.
Right.
And then defensively on the other side of the ball, you know, we have Alex Witt and Eli Sobis on the defensive line, senior-wise. And then outside linebacker, Victor Zayas, Austin Ruddle, Mo Sarnowski, Chris Trojan. Secondary-wise, Jack Hull.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Senior-wise right there. And Zach Lewis right there.
What do you like most about this team?
I like the way they practice. I like the way they've bonded with each other, and the relationships that they build and continue to build, and the chemistry that they've created, the respect that they have for each other, and the work ethic that they've shown each and every day. And really the resiliency of this entire process.
Yeah. I'll get to the game with you and Rick in a minute, but I want to ask you the same sorts of questions. What do you like most about your team this year?
Oh, their ability to bring energy every day to practice, to the weight room, to the film room, the focus, the ability to play against, you know, Chandler versus Chandler every practice. That's not easy to do in these times. And, you know, that comes with experience because we've got a very experienced football team this year, whereas last year it was a very inexperienced team. And, they amaze me of bringing that focus every day to focus on themselves and worry about ourselves.
Can you go through the seniors and colleges and what is going on there? As well?
Yeah, I've got at the table. I've got Mikey Keene going to the University of Central Florida, quarterback. I've got Tavai Naher, who's got offers at Georgetown and Lamar. We've got Brandon Buckner, who's committed to University of Oregon. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got Joseph Hoyt, who's got multiple FCS offers. We've got Zion Maglai, who is committed to University of Colorado. Jeremiah Tyler has multiple FCS offers. Hank Pepper, San Diego State. Kyler Orr at backer, Air Force. Kentrell Williams Jr. At safety, Eastern Washington. Mm-hmm. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we've got Jalen Richmond, who's a senior, committed to Boise State. Eli Sanders, committed to Boise State at running back. Nick Nesbitt, multiple FCS offers. Sione Hingano, our big tackle, multiple FCS and probably soon to be Power 5. Mason Winkleman with multiple, Division III. Same thing with Alakai Armida. So we've got a pretty good group of guys that are going to have some experience afterwards.
I saw your team last week. I did the play-by-play your game against Highland. That was the first time I saw you in person. Where has your team improved from where you started the season to now the most?
Well, I think like any football team, you're never the same from game 1 through, in our cases, game 6. And it just continues to grow, and you diversify yourself, and you find out, what your role is as far as what the players' roles are and who they are, and it's just it's exciting, and just go week by week, and like Coach Z said, you just pound away and see what happens on the next Friday night.
What makes this game? I ask you guys this every year, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. What makes this game so special to where a national network says we want to carry this game on Friday night? A lot of people here, that's what they're buzzing about, is this is an ESPN2 game. Z, let's start with you. What makes this so special?
Well, you have 2 teams that are ranked in the country, so that puts the national spotlight on it. The success that both programs have had in the state of Arizona, and honestly with the playing the out-of-state games, and the success that both programs have had, and I think the proximity, the small distance that you have in between 2 schools. I don't know where you're going to find that around the country where you got 2 schools this tight that are this good, and creates that type of exposure where ESPN wants to put it out there.
Rick?
Absolutely. I mean, Arizona high school football, since I've moved here in 2005, has grown immensely, from players to coaches. The notoriety, my friends in California are very high critiquing type guys, and it's Arizona's on the map, and again, having the ability to have 2 schools so close to each other, in a national spotlight is a testament to both our programs as well as AZ high school football.
Could you introduce who you have here at the table?
I will.
And a little bit about each one.
I will. I've got Mikey Keene. Stand up, Mikey. Mikey Keene's quarterback, 2-year starter, going to the University of Central Florida. I couldn't ask anything more from a quarterback with his leadership skills, his abilities to, throw the football and basically lead us on the offensive side of the football. So it's Mikey Keene. I got Tavai Naher. Stand up, Tavai. Tavai is a 3-year starter. He can play center. He could play guard. He could play tackle. He's without question the leader of our offensive line unit, and very powerful individual and outstanding pass blocker as well. Then I've got Brandon Buckner. He makes coaches really smart, when you have guys like that. Incredible off the edge as a pass rusher, as a run supporter there as well. Will be definitely qualified enough to play outside linebacker if need be in college, which we could use him in that capacity as well. And we're fortunate that we get to practice against him every day, which we've seen the improvement in our 2 tackles of going against a guy like Brandon.
Z, who do you have here?
Well, we have Alex Witt, plays on the defensive line. Great young man, great student. All 3 of them are outstanding students. And he's a positional leader for us. Trey Lockhart, positional leader for the receivers. He's number 15, plays on the right side, split end. And they all do a lot of community service, but Trey just had a nice article popped out there about him just yesterday, I believe, that we posted it. And then we have the famous Connor Dupree, who is Fred's son that opened the high school,
Yep.
and great lineage in the city of Chandler. Connor is our right tackle, and all three of them have had outstanding senior years.
That's good stuff. Let's hear it for the players. I just want to take a minute to the players and just let you guys know this is a day that you will always remember. This is a day where 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, come back. Come back. That's what makes this so good, is people like yourselves that are going to go on, whether you play football, don't play football, and you get involved in your community and in society, and you come back and you're involved in Rotary or whatever community group. And when Hamilton plays Chandler again, you show up. You show up. This is really cool. You guys are at this point. I'm going to step aside now, and I'm going to hand it back to Carrie Cobb. Coaches, stay here. Carrie, you have the scholarships to take care of. Come on up, Carrie.
I'm going to put my mask on because I don't want to be responsible for infecting anybody on either team, because that would not be good for Rotary PR. So anyway, I am pleased. Oh, I left my other sheet back there. Hang on. I'm super excited to present the scholarships to one of the students from each team, from both Hamilton and Chandler High School, that embodies the motto. Embodies the motto of Rotary: service above self, and has demonstrated leadership with their respective programs. We, as a Rotary, awarded $11,000 in scholarships last year, and 2 of those scholarships went to members of the 2 teams last year as well. So the criteria for the scholarship is a senior in good standing. They have to demonstrate leadership qualities. They have to demonstrate a commitment to service, and they plan to further their educational career at a post-secondary institution or enlist in the military. So that is the criteria that we use to choose these scholarships with the help of the coaches. And I would like to present or have the 2 players come up right now. The first one is Tuvai Nihu.
Tavai Naher.
Naher.
Naher. Yeah.
Stay up here. Here's your scholarship letter.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And the second player is Connor Duprez. Congratulations. All right. We've heard from the coaches on those particular players and on the game itself. It was a super exciting game last year. I'm sure it's going to be just as exciting this year, and looking forward to watching it on Friday night. Thanks everybody for coming today, and thanks again to the table sponsors. And with that, we will adjourn the meeting and send you back to school. All right, thank you.